OMG, you guys, now that Trump is president, does it mean that Vladimir Putin can invade the Baltic countries? No, it does not. A year and a half ago, I laid out 3 reasons why Putin is never going to touch Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. The third of those reasons was the fact that all these countries are members of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Now, since I made that video, Donald Trump has been elected President of the United States, and he has famously expressed some skepticism about U.S. membership in NATO. Some people think that he might even abandon the organization. Now, I think this risk is overblown. Donald Trump has hired a lot of generals, and they know how valuable NATO is. But let's say it does happen. Let's say that NATO disintegrates. I still believe that there is no chance that Putin will invade the Baltic countries. Here are 3 reasons why. Reason number 1, oil. When Russia annexed a part of Ukraine in March of 2014, the price of a barrel of oil stood at $104. Today, it's hovering around $50 a barrel. For over a year now, I've been talking about how these prices are very unlikely to rise anytime soon. In fact, they may fall further. The rest of the world is now waking up to this fact. In 2017, Russia cut its defense budget by 25%. A lower oil price also means that the rest of Russia's economy is also much weaker. Russia is in no shape to undertake a wider war. And oh boy, would an invasion of the Baltics lead to a wider war. Reason number 2, the frozen conflicts. Russia has a number of frozen conflicts on its periphery. Both Ukraine and Georgia would love the opportunity to restart large-scale fighting in their countries. They've been held back from doing so by the United States and the EU. If Russia invaded the Baltics, both these countries would get full support from the West. Most of Eastern Europe has a very grim history of Russian occupation. If Putin stepped up those fears with a Baltic invasion, Poland in particular would be guaranteed to get belligerent. Who knows? Maybe Romania would intervene to boot the Russians out of Transdniestra in Moldova as well. Russia doesn't have a large presence in Nagorno-Karabakh, but that conflict would almost certainly spin out of control if Russia was distracted. This, combined with Georgia's actions, would be guaranteed to have spillover effects in Chechnya and Dagestan. A Russian invasion of the Baltics might lead to a disintegration of Russia itself, and it would certainly lead to the fall of Putin's regime. He's not going to let that happen. Reason number 3, Germany. This is the big one. For 70 years, Germany has been a strongly pacifist country. The German eagle has been slumbering, largely out of guilt. A Russian invasion of the Baltics would wake that eagle up. U.S. policymakers find it easy to ignore history. The Russians can't. They know that a militarized Germany is the largest potential threat they face. Everybody knows that Hitler invaded Russia in 1941. What few appreciate is the fact that an initially more successful invasion a century earlier had a large German component as well. We tend to look at Napoleon's army as mostly French, but it wasn't just that. Almost a third was German, and if you add the Poles to that number, Napoleon's army was almost half Eastern European. If the Russians invaded the Baltics, Germany would have to remilitarize. Russia will do anything it can to avoid this result. So to sum up, NATO is unlikely to fall apart, but even if it did, Russia still can't invade the Baltics. The lower oil price means that they just don't have the resources for a larger European war. And a larger European war is exactly what they'd get the second they cross the border to Estonia. The Baltic countries are perfectly safe. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and if you'd like to help me make more videos like this one, please click on the Patreon link here to find out how. Thanks.